Hi guys, Rap Critic here, and today we're going to switch things up with an album breakdown for RZA's second album, Digital Bullet, from 2001. As sort of a companion piece to my first video about the genius you can watch here. Now let's start off by addressing the state of the Wu-Tang Clan by the time today's album came out. Cause see, for 5 years from 93 to 97, Wu was dominating the rap game, led by the RZA and backed by his dark, cryptic, menacing beats and the now famous 5-year plan that collectively pushed them to the forefront of hip-hop, basically becoming synonymous with the genre by the late 90s. However, keeping such a huge group together proved to be a bit much to handle, as clashes over creative differences and financial disagreements put rifts in the group that made it harder and harder to keep the group cohesive as a unit. Also, RZA's basement where he made his beats got flooded. Twice. And the second incident proved to be especially ill-timed. Amongst other concerns, the worst of it was the Hot 97 incident. See, they were supposed to be on tour with Rage Against the Machine in Europe, but the radio station all but forced them to do their show without actually covering the expenses for flying them back to the States. So while they ended up doing the show, some of the members got heated about the coercion due to how it screwed over their overseas money, and aired their grievances live against the station, getting the crowd to chant "Fuck Hot 97", a move that would lead to the group being blacklisted from the station's airwaves for over a decade, pulling the spotlight from them and inspiring even more internal conflict, leading to a bunch of other stuff I can't get into right now, but, well, to sum it up in a kung fu sample from the Genius's first album. And amongst all this division, RZA, the beatsmith and navigator of the group, decided to take time to go it alone with his own solo outings, changing up his beat production style and sound in order to reinvent himself as Bobby Digital, a strange kind of anti-hero-like alter ego to the RZA. In fact, there's a full-length movie RZA made where Bobby Digital was supposed to be a hood vigilante saving the day with some strange elixir and an analog signal or something like that. The movie's apparently impossible to dig up because after one night when he came up at him in a specially dusted session, he looked at the finished product and thought it was such utter garbage that he scrapped the whole thing, so it's not available in full anywhere other than some really telling clips I could find.
Hey, I know who the fuck you are. Who the fuck do I know you from? Bitch, I'll spit your fucking ass, son.
Although, as a Wu completist, I still most definitely want to see this cheesy-ass looking movie, so if anyone out there's got the hookup, let me know. All I definitively know is, a vocal chunk of the fanbase didn't gel with this new direction of producing, with more stripped-down, soul sample-based production and less dark, grimy beats. The brighter shift prompted many to think he was going all-out commercial on us. But it wasn't his debut album, In Stereo, that I had heard first. No. It was the second LP, Digital Bullet, that made it to my ears first. An album that showcased an egregious dip in quality, which really drove home how the mighty had fallen. And since it's my channel, I decided to share that disappointment with you! And just to focus my thoughts on this thing, let's split things up into two parts for this. Starting with...
Hit the bodega, 440 ounce Sun Garcia Vega, 2 bags of chips and 1 pack of now latest.
The RZA is one of the greatest producers of all time. Is a phrase I had to keep saying to myself as I was listening to this awful shit. Seriously, almost every track's beat work can be categorized as either sleep-inducingly boring or just straight up unfinished. There's one beat on here for Can't Lose that just loops the same 2 seconds for essentially the whole song.
Can't lose. Why? Can't lose. 4 shutties. Why? Why?
Oh, he's definitely lost something. There is one part in the song where the beat sorta develops, but it's so awkward with how it jerks back into the beat, it just sounds like a mistake.
Always speak actual, only deal with natural, 100%, 5% militant aim with the intent, preventing our...
I mean, the intro to the album is interesting enough. That is, if you don't mind a rap album that starts with RZA getting into bad anime dub acting mode. But just listen to the instrumentals he's using to emulate that kung fu music sound. It already just sounds cheap and tawdry.
So, you're not gonna survive. Bobby thought to himself, can he possibly survive?
Great dialogue, bro.
Then out of nowhere, a stream of energy struck, drawing energy from the sun. The 7 decided, and the kids all felt happy.
What?
You are listening to the Worldwide Digital Radio Show, where we play hip-hop untouched.
Oh, so the anime character needed to charge up energy to be able to host a radio show? Okay. But as the album goes on, we do get a song like Brooklyn Babies, a pipe organ-fueled joint with thumping drums and crunchy electric guitar that actually speeds up and slows down throughout the song.
A Brooklyn baby, I was born up in Kings County. Inside the womb 7 months before the queen found me. Up in Bonnie Brownsville with things around me. Now Rome, got a statin with green team around me.
It's honestly one of the best beats he's ever made on this album, anyways. But for every track like that, you get 3 tracks like Throw Your Flag Up, A Righteous Way, or Build Strong. The first one programmed with a tired-ass trumpet sample that sounds like it's literally putting the rappers to sleep with how labored and stretched out their deliveries are.
If you come from Long Beach, throw your flag up. If you come from Compton, throw your rag up.
For real, it sounds like even they're thrown off by just how slow this beat is moving.
Knuckle up in the spot till someone get dropped, stop, get passed out off a pint of that ball, ready to mic brawl.
Oh my god, and then there's fucking La Rumba. RZA's laughable attempt to light up the barrios with this Santana knockoff. But unfortunately, the whole track is just dull and lifeless, with basic piano stabs and the stiffest trumpet line you ever did hear. And then you get the back-to-back drowsiness of Righteous Way and Build Strong. The first where Junior Reed kind of flounders around for the first half of the track before Bobby spits his most lifeless verse of the whole album.
Something that we never could understand is what he told me, saying, yo, how could the ghost be holy?
And the second, Build Strong, which is backed by almost nothing but a bass line, some basic keys, and like a loose association of percussion hits one could interpret as a drum beat.
A lot of things upset me as my soul rejects me, enemy of myself, physically. Listen, let me tell you about yo, confused but yet wise.
Yeah, do you hear how hollow and fake these drums sound? That plastic sound is all over the album. Like, check out Shady. Listen to that hi-hat ride. It just sounds so fake and not integrated into the beat. What is this shit? Fucking Fisher-Price My First Drum Kit? Meanwhile, the singer is absolutely unbearable. Like, the singers that do hooks on Wu-Tang songs have never been particularly great, but they usually have lush, creative instrumentation to couch the voices in a texture that suits it. Here, this woman's voice is naked in the wind, as you can hear exactly how paper-thin Homegirl's register is.
But what I saw in front of me. Oh baby, you was acting so crazy.
The poor woman stranded on an island with like 2 notes that actually sound like they're in a range, with everything else outside of that sounding like it's legitimately painful to reach. Then there's the beat work of Do You, which at least has a nicely mixed sample in there, but I can't lie.
Because you can't do me.
It straight up just sounds like they're saying doo-doo. Then there's the thin, criminally underproduced Must Be Bobby, laced with a lonely piano line and this overly harsh drum track that feels like it's doing its damnedest to make up for just how light and weak as water the music above it is.
Hit the bodega, 440 ounce Sun Garcia Vega, 2 bags of chips and 1 pack of now laters.
Sounds like school music, like if you had to rap your 4th grade book report or something. I mean, his stuff has always sounded kind of lo-fi before, but it all felt blended into a genuine grimy aesthetic sound. This just sounds like amateur hour, and nowhere near representative of what Dude used to be capable of in terms of production. All in all, it's just a huge disappointment beat-wise. Now, if you've heard RZA's voice so far, you'll notice that it ain't exactly the smoothest shit in the world.
You might get splat with the black cat, head split, shake up like ice pick.
Like, wow, that's from Show You Love, the first track, and already he's having trouble controlling the editing of his vocals so that it doesn't sound like they're being awkwardly cut off. But coming from the actual producer who put together the unique sound of the Wu, that's always been baffling to me. Like, how could this man who could differentiate the vocal ranges of each rapper in the group and tailor the beat to suit the register of their voices, from Ghostface Killah's high tenor to Method Man's low baritone, how can this guy not hear how to fit his own voice to a track?
All my thugs are who smoke like that, and you cokehead niggas sniffing coke like that.
I don't know, maybe it's one of those things where it's just hard to hear what objectively works for your own voice, especially when it's as marble-mouthed as his delivery is, but it's like, you gotta do something to rein this shit in. Of course, not that it would help that much overall, because even the cleanest vocals can't save some of these awkward-ass lyrics.
Don't have to come in this shit, they make me blow you.
You've gotta know how that sounds, RZA. And while at least the first track has a fun, goofy opener that you could argue is endearing, by track 2, Glocko Pop, all that goodwill gets spoiled as he kicks in with, well...
Watch girls' pussies get wet, drip, 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 drop, 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 drop.
Yeah, and RZA's part really doesn't get that much better from there.
Watch my Glock, 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 Glock. It goes pop, 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 pop. My Glock go pop, pop, pop. It's rubber pop, pop, pop. My Glock goes pop, pop, pop. My Glock go pop, pop, pop.
Yeah, that goes on for a while. Oh, and we gotta talk about how he basically tried to make fetch happen with the completely disposable bong bong, an ode to his silly catchphrase.
Bong bong, all my niggas. Yo, bong bong, my bitches so bong bong.
And over such stellar lyrics as this.
Ain't no she suck dick like that, with those big fat lips and those hips like that.
Yeah, classy.
Why them R&B niggas try to sing like that? And you fake crossover trying to bling like that?
Oh, yeah, I'm certain dumbing down your sound with a repetitive rhyme scheme and a catchphrase was purely for the underground heads out there. And boy, oh boy, do things not get any better, because about halfway through, we get to the "Women, am I right, fellas?" portion of the album. And it's bad, man. It's really bad. Particularly with tracks like Shady, where the hook is about how their girlfriend caught them cheating, but RZA's verse seems to be about her cheating, like with a girl, I think.
With you and your friends, I play the licky licky. I figured it out when I caught that hickey between your legs when your chocolate split be.
Getting mad A.T. Alien's track 5 vibes right about now. And if you don't know what that means, don't worry, I'll get to that album soon enough. And then the featured rapper Beretta 9 comes in, and it just has the energy of a dude who's, like, clearly been caught, but he's trying to downplay it anyway.
Come on, man, save it, go ahead with that boo. Me like, come on, how that ain't God style. Come on, man, you don't know me by now.
Come on, man. Nah, that wasn't me. That was, like, my twin brother or something. And lyric-wise, things don't get any better with Domestic Violence Part 2 is, like, disgustingly, shockingly sexist. Like, honestly, I don't even really want to talk about it.
You ain't shit, the whip ain't shit, pocketbook ain't shit, and your friends ain't shit, bitch.
Like, everything about it is just icky. From the beat to the lyrics, it just gets that sick feeling in my mouth as I'm just talking about it right now. Like, oh, like you know that thick milk mucusy feel you get from something you eat when you realize you don't enjoy the texture or the taste of it? Like, yeah, that's what the song makes me feel. And fuck, then there's Black Widow 2, and oh god, it's an old dirty bastard solo joint. And like, look, I love ODB. His was the first album I ever bought, so I'm acclimated to his bizarre style of humor, but this is just basic nursery rhyme shit on top of the most blatant gut-turning misogyny. Like, I shouldn't even play a lyric. You know what? I am going to play a couple from this song, just so you know how bad it gets. But, content warning, guys. Definitely use the right arrow button a few times if you want to skip past some super skeezy sex rhymes.
Bitch, so fine ass to be. Bitch, you know you belong to me. Bitch, you know my name Dirt Dog, Dirt MC.
Dirt Dog, I know what you about.
Bitch, get the fuck in the car. On the third one, start the clock. Dirt Dog, I don't want to die. So shut the fuck up.
Let's just move on. Hey, here's a picker-upper. How about we learn a little Spanish? Cause you know what the chorus in La Rumba translates to? This is good because it is the rumba. Well, like your overly featured friend Beretta 9 would say.
Come on, man.
Also, just to punctuate how unfun this whole affair is, this is how Beretta 9 starts his verse.
I don't want to dance, baby girl. It's like my legs is on strike.
Yeah, guys, let's start a verse with someone who doesn't feel compelled to dance to the song. Now, you may be wondering, are there any actual solid songs on this album? And actually, yeah. For starters, like I mentioned earlier, Brooklyn Babies is the legit banger. It starts and ends with like a solid combined minute and a half of his girlfriend cursing him out, so, you know, that's interesting.
I'm tired of you coming in at 3 o'clock in the fucking morning. Nigga, you got a fucking family here. You act like you don't fucking know that shit.
Plus, there's a female rapper named Jamie Summers who fucking kills it on Break Bread.
Pussy tight ginger, turn the rough cat to cringer. Make him surrender his call, illegal tender.
This is like some female Ghostface killer shit.
A lot of y'all bitches is good earners, but 2 out. Take too many chances chilling with niggas. Jamie Hunt with the real cheese smiling. Taking shots at Louis the 13th. And tying you rock paisley sheets and watching me beat his meat.
Like, whoa, and also, what? And Be a Man is an endearingly insane listen. The soul sample's weird frenetic energy matches RZA's out-of-control delivery, especially at the beginning.
Talking about soil rising, prices of food sky rising, foreign countries moving in USA into rises now.
It's like the sound of someone being pushed out of an airplane, but then they just randomly discovered the ability to fly or something. Plus, Sickness genuinely ends the album in a cool way, with a charging badass bass line, banging drums, and a noisy sample of dogs barking that actually works.
The sickness. That's what I want.
Like I said, there was supposed to be a movie that maybe would have tied all this together, but as it is, it's just a big sloppy mess, where all the more contemplative lyrics at the end seem like a pose after you just waited through like a full hour of this hedonistic, overwhelmingly bad shitfest of an album. Overall, I'd have to give this album a generous 1.5 out of 5, and It pains me to do that, man. But you forced my hand, RZA. With these whack ass beats, you forced my hand. I don't feel good doing this. Oh, hurts my soul. I gotta go drown my songs in a bottle of wild turkey after I'm done shooting this. Well, thanks for watching. If you want to hear more LP reviews like this, though, let me know in the comments section. Or just, like and subscribe like we always tell you to do about this time. And if you want to check out my podcast or my social media to catch updates on what's coming next, hit the link tree below. I should have actually put it there this time, and if I didn't, I'll at least have recorded my shame by keeping this take in. So check all that fun stuff out, Blaze 2, and get at me in the morning. Peace.